Here are your directions for the Great Depression Cookbook Research Project, What America Ate. So this project has two parts. The first part is worth 70 points right here, and that's where you're going to do the research and investigation of your cookbook. You have your group members' names here, please. Don't forget that part. And what you're going to do is we kind of create this like a recipe card to make it cute for you. And you're going to do the region you are serving. So the groups are up here. Group 1 is Northeast, Group 2 will be the South, 3 will be the Midwest, 4 will be the Southwest, and 5 will be the Far West. You're going to go to this link right here, What America Ate, and you're going to click on it, and it'll call up the new window. And in here, they have all sorts of different resources. You can browse, you can explore the history of those. They have spotlights, they have the recipes, they have maps, and they even have a recipe transcription because sometimes it doesn't always come through clearly. But this gives you like kind of a cool idea of what it is. You can read through it, and then you can explore by What America Eats, the advertising, the community cookbooks, which are broken down. So if you click on community cookbook, for example, it'll give you some background and then it tells you to browse them. And you can look at their histories and things like that. It's kind of a fun website and I enjoy it. You can also go up to the map and then it tells you here you can use the map to sort for sources by zooming in or the regions. You can zoom out. But here they're telling you the Midwest and there's 278 records, the Northeast, the South, the Southwest, and the Far West. Please note that they do consider Alaska part of the Far West, and then Hawaii is down here as the Southwest, oddly enough. I'm not sure why. But when you click on it, you can just click on the region, and then you can actually pick what states. And so this one will tell you Michigan has 22 records, and then you can click on Indiana or Illinois. So you might want to look at like 2 or 3 states and kind of compare what they have in common. So as you explore the website, you're going to start filling this out. So we want background information about the cuisine of that area. So think about people who are settling there, and this is things like the immigrants and what kind of influence they're going to have. And sometimes they might have more than one ethnicity. So for example, if you're doing the Midwest, there's a lot of Scandinavians and Germans and Polish who settle in those areas. So what are they going to bring with them? Versus the Northeast or even the South will have a strong African American influence in French with like the Cajun and Creole in Louisiana. Then what you're going to do is you're going to use 3 cookbooks from your region and you're going to put them here. So you're going to put down the cookbook and what region it's from, the different cookbook, and a third one. And then you're going to find appetizers. Try to find the same ones for each of them. So example, if you're going to do crab dip, try to do crab dip from all 3 and see what they have in common. Same thing for breakfast. Do the best you can. Sometimes there's going to be differences, but try to keep it all together. If you're going to do breakfast, try to do egg dishes or something like that, waffles. Lunch, dinner, and dessert. So we're going to make a whole meal out of this. Then the next part is you're going to answer some questions, which we call baking instructions. So here the first one is, we have learned about the Americanization of immigrants and now they have been influenced to be more American. How do you think some of these recipes have been influenced by Americanization of the recipes? So for example, some of the Chinese dishes like chop suey, that actually has been influenced by American palates to make it less spicy, more bland, because that's what Americans tend to like back then. And you do need to cite your sources when you are doing this. So if you're going outside of the website and you're going to other websites and looking at things, please make sure you're including that information where you found it with a link to that site on this document. The second question, what do you notice about the common key ingredients? So do they use things that are regionally found? Were they common? Why are they doing that? And I said to think about the geography and the environment and the climate. And then number 3, this is the 30s. Were they using a lot of cheaper quality products like fillers, crackers, breadcrumbs, and things like that that would help stretch the meal? And then why? And each time you're going to cite your sources. So here's another source if you go outside of the website. And again. And then how can cookbooks help you understand a point in history? I mean, we don't really think of them, but actually they are a primary source. So why? And then what you're going to do is the fun part. You're going to find your favorite recipe for each of the following categories, and then you're going to write them down here with a link. So you're going to find which ones you really wanted to make: appetizers, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. And then that link to that recipe will go on this side. Also, you're going to include favorite images and things like that and choose and explain why you chose them to be your favorites. Now, the second part, this is the part that's going to be the interesting online one. So this one is worth 80 points. So together, this project is worth 150 points. So you guys are going to come up with a fun, inventive, and informative video to share with us. And we're going to put them up on the classroom and we can watch each other's, because you guys usually are pretty creative. The directions for the video, it must be 5 to 8 minutes long. I don't want it any longer and I don't want it any shorter. Everyone should try to be in the video, and that's why I'm saying this is a challenge. So I'm thinking video segments, having one person edit it all together. Get your families involved. If you guys are all locked up together, make it fun. It's going to be 20 points. And then you need to use information above in this part of the video. So you need to talk about the historical era of the 1920s and 30s in that region. You need to talk about what ethnic groups were there, the migration patterns, the foods that were common. You need to share your question and answer also in the video, and you have to include the recipes and also sharing images. And that's another 40 points. This is the big chunk. And then 20 points on how creative you are with the setup. So we gave you some examples. You could do it like a morning news show, kind of like how Good Day Sacramento sometimes will do that, where they have like their cook that will kind of present dishes for people. Or is it going to be like a Food Network show? Are you going to make it like Chopped or Hell's Kitchen or Iron Chef? So I will post some examples from last year up on Classroom to give you an idea, but see what you guys can do since I know that you're working separately. And then are you going to make a dish actually to show in your video? You don't have to show you doing it, but you can show the before and the after. And then dress up like a chef. You know, as I said, get your siblings involved. Please just do not poison them. Okay? So now you only need to fill out one of these documents for the entire group. So you might choose somebody who's going to be your editor and then somebody who's going to be the one who edits and puts this document together. Everybody does need to contribute, and you need to put your name next to what you contribute or at least color code it. So for example, if I was to here and I was going to put like Miss Fork, then I'm going to make my name a specific color, and that's what I'm going to type in from that point on. So let's just say make it fun blue. And then I'm going to like put down here that I'm going to be the one who comes up with this. So maybe I do this part, and I'm going to put in here for appetizers, like I said, crab dip. And then I'm going to change this to my color. Please don't use this turquoisey blue. It's actually really hard to see, so please don't do that to me. But you get the idea of what I'm saying. You can color code it based on your name that way, okay? And then, of course, if you have any questions, you can always like email me and ask me, or you can go on to the Google chat and ask me questions there too, whatever makes you happy. And then hopefully these directions help clarify some of that information for you. And then I will post up the due date for this as well.